Now let's talk about the exam. In the exam we're going to have use of English. In fact, in level 5 we are used to calling it language use now. No, language tests. Language test, reading, writing, but also listening. For the language test, there are some changes because it's not exactly the same as the kinds of exercises you used to have in level 4. It's not only about grammar. It's going to be about the idioms, the expressions, of course the structures, but also the vocabulary items that you have seen in class. So everything that we do in class is very important. You should not neglect anything. For the reading, we're going to have 2 texts and 1 vocabulary exercise. For the listening, we're going to have 2 listening exercises. And for the writing, you can choose between 3 topics. For the online students, the exam can be done online. But for those who can't do it online, they can always come to CNELA and arrange to have it done in class. For the oral interview, we're going to use Skype for the oral interview. For those who do the oral interview. The difference between oral interview in level 3 and level 5 is that for level 5 students, you do not have time preparation. Once you get into the room, you pick your topic from the box, you read your topic, and then you start speaking immediately. This is why it is very important for you to invest in your speaking activities, to do your best, and to try to improvise too. Because the problem of advanced students is they think too much. They want to do everything perfectly. It is not possible to do everything perfectly. We always make mistakes. So you should learn to live with those mistakes, because mistakes are the things that help us progress. If you do not make mistakes, we have nothing to correct and you don't learn anything. So try to think that mistakes are part of learning. As I said, there won't be any time preparation, so you'd better learn to improvise. How to improvise? Because students always complain, oh, I can't find anything to say. It is impossible for me to talk about that because I don't like that topic, and so on and so forth. We always find excuses when we do not want to speak. So the first piece of advice that I'd like to give you about that is start from yourself. Start from your own experience. Try to ask yourself, for example, if you find a topic, for example, personally, I'm not interested in cars. I don't like cars. I'm not interested in race cars. I'm not interested in any brand of cars. So, but it is possible for me to speak about cars anyway. How? By talking about why cars are not interesting for me. I can talk about that. So what I mean is, even if you do not find a specific topic interesting, it is always possible to talk about it. Talk about your lack of interest in that topic. Why don't you like it? And if you say, I've never heard about that, it's the first time I've heard about that, then tell us why. Why is it that you've never heard about that? Is it because you lived in the countryside? Is it because you never watched TV? Is it because, I don't know, there are many different reasons. So feel free to talk about those things. What you should know is that when we interview students, we are not expecting a specific answer. There are not expected answers. It's not like when we do mathematics, 1 + 1 is 2. It's not like that. There are not expected answers. So anything you say is the correct answer. But just say something. If you do not say anything, we have nothing to correct. All right? So if you can't find anything to say, ask yourself, why is it I can't find anything to say? Is it because I'm not interested? If you're not interested, tell us why you're not interested. Is it because you've never heard of it? Tell us why you've never heard about it. All right? So remember, having nothing to say is not an excuse during oral interview. And after that, sometimes students are very intimidated when they hear the word interview. Yes, we call it interview, but don't consider it, don't think that it is like a job interview. It's not a matter of life and death. All right? It is a conversation between you and the two teachers. Yes, remember, you're going to be interviewed by 2 teachers. So, during the term, even if we do not, for example, we do not really expand on one topic on a specific day, always try to think about the topic, to imagine what you're going to say, imagine that it is the interview, what you're going to say. Always think about that, all right? And when you do that, I advise you to really try with the questions that you have found difficult to deal with during the exercises, okay? Because you never know what you're going to get during the interview. So do something that you find difficult. You're going to practice those things to make it easier for you to express yourself during the interview.